Julia, welcome back to my channel. So today's video has been very much long in the making. I haven't done a new makeup releases, favorites, and fails in a long time. Definitely not since quarantine started. It's been almost 4 months. The main reason for that being I just didn't get a ton of new releases in at the beginning of quarantine. Most places stopped sending out PR and then I stopped buying makeup, so there was nothing new and I was honestly kind of enjoying that. But I have accumulated a lot of new things I've tried out recently that I'm really excited to share with you guys, including the long-awaited Kaleidos Escape collection and everything else I've tried recently. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love doing these. If you're new here, this is my series where I basically just go through all the new releases I've tried out recently and review them all in one go in one video. It's very convenient. Today's sip of the day is water. Oh, you thought it was going to be Celsius, didn't you? Psych. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Full details of this look will be on Instagram. I am uploading a get ready with me later this week doing this look on my face, so stay tuned for that if you want to see how I did it, but like,
do I look like I give a fuck? Because I don't.
Today's Do Fairy of the Day is Mara. Thank you so much for having your notification bell on, and thank you for always commenting. I always notice that you comment a lot, and your name always sticks in my mind. I think that's all I have to say. Without further ado, let's get into it. It's been far too long. I'm going to start out with a brand that I'm incredibly excited about, which is Tower 28 Beauty. So I have pretty much their entire line here to show you guys. I first heard about Tower 28 from you guys actually. So I did my Glossier 5 Best 5 Worst video, I think like 4 months ago or something. And in the comments of that video, a lot of people were recommending that I try out Tower 28 because their products and their vibe was supposed to be very similar. They also have been getting a little bit more street cred because they just came to Sephora. So their entire product line is now in Sephora, which I think is awesome. But this brand, I think, is one to watch. So a little bit about the brand itself. They are based in California. It's a very small indie brand. They have 4 full-time employees, I believe. And I actually got to speak to the founder, Amy Liu, about the products themselves. Their entire philosophy is basically focused on making makeup products that are really good and healthy for your skin. They obviously embrace the kind of natural, like, dewy vibe, which is my thing. But so I have pretty much all the products except for the bronzer, which I really want to try out. But I will, I guess I'll start with the blushes. Again, kind of like Glossier, they fall into that same price bracket where it's not necessarily like super high-end expensive, but it's not drugstore either. It's just like right in the middle. But I have the Beach Please Happy Hour Buildable Cheek Tint and then the Super Dew No Shade Highlighter. First of all, I really like the packaging. You guys know how I feel about clear plastic packaging and that I hate it. Particularly the Essence clear plastic packaging always breaks on me. This is like really sturdy clear acrylic packaging. It's well made, nice amount of heaviness. I think this is really good packaging and I feel like it matches again with the kind of aesthetic, so I don't mind the clear plastic packaging here. This blush tint I was testing out at the same time as the Kaja cream blushes, so it was up against a pretty comparable product. Spoiler alert, this superior. Am I saying? Yeah, I think this is one of my new favorite cream blushes. Probably neck to neck with the Glossier Cloud Paints, but obviously it's a different texture, so it's not really comparable. This is beautiful on the cheeks. It doesn't disrupt any complexion product you're wearing, so I can use this one with like a full-on foundation or what I'm wearing today, which is like a BB cream kind of lighter coverage thing. It's kind of like a waxy texture. It's pretty pigmented actually, so you don't really need a ton of product as you can see, but it just blends out so effortlessly. It can be a nice kind of sheer kiss of color if you want it to be, or you can build it up depending on what you want. So this and the highlighter I both used in a recent Get Ready With Me. The highlighter is an interesting product that honestly I don't think is going to be for everyone. It's almost like a lip balm texture. It's very emollient and like, I don't know if you can see that, but it's like, it lifts up. Very, very, very creamy. And then it's basically this nice kind of sheer base. It literally only gives you this kind of like wet looking shine. It doesn't give you any shimmer in it. It's shimmer and glitter free. It's just this wetness. This you can use with like other complexion based products. This you cannot use with foundation. I've tried. It will move around whatever complexion product or coverage you have underneath it, so you do definitely want to use this one on bare skin. That being said, this is beautiful. On days that I'm not wearing foundation, this is good to go for. It can be a little bit sticky is my thing. Basically, I think you have to know what you're getting into, but if you want that effect and you're okay with the kind of formulation, I think you will really enjoy it. Next up are the lip jellies, and I have the XOXO lip jelly, which is the red one, and then the shade Chill, which is the clear lip jelly. Bitch. Nisa said it best. These just high achievers. Okay, these are my new favorite lip gloss formula. Previously, that was a title held by the ColourPop Luxe glosses, but this fuses everything that I like about a lip oil texture with the high shine finish of a gloss. So these are really, really comfortable. They're not sticky whatsoever. The clear one is a truly clear color, but the red one has a nice amount of color payoff. So this is really beautiful to just wear all over my lips. Minimal stickiness, honestly. It really just feels like a nice comfortable balm layer on your lips. but it gives you the most high shine, beautiful glossy finish. So these are probably the standout product for me from the line. I would say go for the clear lip jelly. This is like my favorite thing from the product line, followed closely by the cheek tint blush. And then last but not least, the Daily Rescue facial spray. This is something that I really wasn't expecting to like. It's not a setting spray, it's actually a skincare product, so I was very interested to test it out. But this is basically their flagship product, specifically formulated to help soothe irritation on your skin. I got a very, 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 very nasty rash in the beginning of June. It was during my YouTube break, so you guys didn't see it, thankfully, but it was stress related, obviously, and it was awful. I honestly was not expecting anything to happen because I don't know, it's a face mist. I don't really expect much to happen with face mist. I more so expect like serums to do the heavy lifting. This got my skin to homeostasis in less than a week. I was using this and a very basic moisturizer and my skin got better so quickly. So I'm about this much through. I have another bottle already on backup. If you struggle a lot with irritation as one of your main skin problems, I think you should really try this out. The one thing I will say is it smells kind of like pool water. It's fragrance free, so they didn't put in any fragrance to kind of cover up the scent of the ingredients in there. So it does smell kind of like chlorinated pool water, but
child. Anyway, so
very excited about this brand, very excited to see what they do in the future, and very much enjoying the products right now. Okay, now is as good a time as any to tackle the Big Daddy. It finally came. Crash testing this for the past couple days, so I've got full thoughts on the entire Kaleidos Escape collection. This had a tumultuous time getting to my home, but I was so excited to unbox everything. I think that this is probably one of the most exciting collections to come out this year. I haven't gotten excited about a lot of things this year besides like the ColourPop tie-dye collection and then this. I guess I'll start with the eyeshadow palette. You guys know I really love my Kaleidos 6-pan Futures and palettes, so I was very excited to test out a bigger palette from them. One thing I think Kaleidos does really, really well is coming up with color schemes, so I was excited to see them do a bigger color scheme. I've known about this collection for about a month before it actually was revealed, but I didn't know about the color scheme. I just knew that it was going to be a bigger palette. So I was very, very excited to see what they would do. This color scheme, I think that the color selection allows for you to do a bunch of different things. So obviously I have this very like kind of green look on right now that could be neutral if I hadn't put on the lime green. But the other look that I posted on Instagram with this palette I think was very, very different. So I think that you can do a lot of different things within this palette. Formula wise, this is very consistent with the regular formula that is in the Kaleidos smaller features and palettes. The mattes are great as always. This is their first foray into doing purple shadows, so I was very nervous about that just because purples are really, really difficult to formulate. This shade here, Soiree, probably one of my new favorite lilac shades. I think what really stands out for me are these shimmers in here. They have this really, really insane duochrome texturization to them. The reflective particles I feel like just catch the light a lot more than a standard shimmer would. There's not a single dud shade in here in my opinion, and I've used every single shade in here at this point. So this palette does get my stamp of approval. I think they did a great job overall with the color scheme, and I am very excited to play with this more. This is a palette that I see myself using and still getting excited about using after I do my review. So yeah, they came out with 2 blush duos, which I was very excited about. These are the Lo-Fi Rose and Lo-Fi Peach blush duos. I love, love, love the outer packaging on these, and it's a kind of like brushed, rubberized cardboard packaging. So this is the Rose duo. It's what I'm wearing on my cheeks right now. This shade here called Mood. This is a little bit more cool toned, and then the Peach duo, also beautiful. Both of them come with a shimmery blush on the top and a matte blush on the bottom. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of wish that there was a matte duo and a shimmery duo. For me, these shimmery blushes in here are a little bit too not blushy enough and a little bit too highlightery to be blushes. I feel like there's a kind of fine line between making a shimmery blush and making a highlighter that's kind of on the pink tone side, and I think these are more highlighters than they are blushes. So I would have loved basically to just take the matte blushes and put them together and then take the shimmer blushes and put them together, but I see that they were wanting to do kind of monochromatic duos and I understand that. So if you do like doing kind of blush draping and layering on a shimmery blush on top of your matte blush, I think you will enjoy these. For me, these are a little bit too highlightery, but I love the matte blushes. Even this shade right here, which looks really, really pale and doesn't look like it would show up much on the face, this gave me a really, really nice color payoff. They are a lot more pigmented than they look in the pan, and overall I do like the matte blush formula. I would love to see them coming out with blushes in individual packaging. The duos though are good. I would have laid them out differently, but that's just me. Next up are the new Space Age highlighters. So there are 3 new shades. We have Diamond Dasher, which looks neutral in the pan, but it has a little bit of a pink, almost like rainbow iridescent flip to it. Moon Crusher, which is a beautiful blue flip. This, I posted swatches on Twitter, and this looks straight up wet. So everyone was asking what that swatch was. It was Moon Cruiser. Mars Melter, which is another pink tone shift as well. And then finally, this is not a new shade, but they came out with a new formulation of Ray Rider, which is my favorite from the old collection. Ray Rider was a champagne. I honestly didn't think that there was anything wrong with the original formula. I thought it looked beautiful on the cheekbones. They came out with a new formulation that's supposed to be smoother, less glittery, and more just neutral and buttery. So I did take the liberty of comparing my old Ray Rider to the new Ray Rider, and honestly, I didn't see that much of a difference. I think that the particles were just the tiniest bit more fine in the new Ray Rider. However, I did like my old formulation. So because of that, I'm just going to be keeping my old Ray Rider, and then I'm throwing the new and improved Ray Rider into the 40,000 subscribers giveaway. So that giveaway will be announced soon. I'm still putting it together, but this will be in there. But the new highlighters I have some mixed feelings on. Diamond Dasher I was probably most excited about. This did have a little bit more pink on the cheekbones than I was expecting. Like, even when I swatched it, it looked pretty nice and neutral, but on the cheekbones I feel like the pink really came through. And you guys know I don't love pink on myself. It's a little bit more glittery than I like on my cheekbones, but I think this is really impactful. So I think this does deliver very much on a blinding glow. I'm wearing Ray Rider on my cheeks right now, and I think this just melts beautifully into the cheekbone. This can give you pop. So it really depends on what you want. If you're wanting a nice kind of melty, just natural champagne glow, Ray Rider's the way to go. But if you're wanting like impact, Diamond Dasher. Moon Cruiser I'm very excited to break out. This is the blue one. I don't wear colorful highlighters all that often, but the formulation of this one is beautiful. Probably my least favorite of the three shades is Mars Melter. I don't feel like this one is super different from the old pink shade, which is Star Surfer. So I didn't really feel like these two were that different to a point where it would warrant a new shade. I do, however, really like the new kind of reflective packaging. I don't know, do you prefer the matte or do you prefer this kind of like shimmery tin? Either way, my Space Age highlighters I love, and these are always very prominently displayed right here. The eye primer, unfortunately, was the one thing that did not survive the trip, so the tube actually burst, but I managed to salvage it and put it in my Tatcha water cream. This eye primer, I have a lot of thoughts. The Anastasia Beverly Hills eye primer, I feel, is a lot less sticky than this one. This is a very tacky eye primer. So really good at gripping down your eyeshadow for a very long time. I think this is awesome for doing very long wearing looks. I will say that the shade is very peachy. I feel like the Anastasia eye primer is pretty pale and definitely doesn't fit a ton of skin tones. This one also, because it's one shade, it's not going to fit every skin tone, and if you have very fair skin, this is going to be a little bit too dark for you. On me, this is a little bit darker than my actual skin tone, but overall I like the formulation of this one. I would just love to see them come out with different colors of it. Not much to say about the lip gloss in the collection. This is the shade Hypnotize. So I'm wearing this on my lips right now. It's a really nice formula actually. Very thin, not sticky at all. If you do like kind of more glittery glosses, I think you'll really enjoy this formulation. And last but not least, they came out with Beauty Blender sponges. She's really good. I used this today for my foundation. I thought this did a really good job of blending everything out. My AOA Studio Wonder Blenders do the same thing. These are $1 and I compare every sponge to the Wonder Blenders kind of unfairly, so these are still superior in my mind, but these are good sponges if you were wondering about them. Okay, this I promised my favorite sub on TikTok a review of, so the Kaja Cutie Bento Cheek Duos. These cream blushes I feel like people have very mixed feelings on. This is tiny, obviously. It's $18 for a duo of two very dinky little pans of cream blush. You can also use them on your lips, but like I'm not gonna do that. And I got the shade Juicy Watermelon, which has this kind of nice bright coral shade and then a more neutral kind of pink tone. Regarding the size, I don't mind it. Again, like product amount is really not a concern for me, but it might be for someone else. For me, I really feel like even though it's two very small pans of product, it kind of again reminds me of the Fenty Beauty blushes, which are also very small. And then they are pretty pigmented for cream blushes. You don't really have to use a ton of product, so I feel like a little will go a very long way. Tininess aside, the formula, these are honestly kind of waxy. I think that might come from them being a cream cheek product and lip product in one, so they're kind of a little bit more of like a lipstick formula, which is weird, whereas the Tower 28, I feel like that one is a little bit more glidey. These are a little bit more stiff. They still blend out nicely and I still like the color payoff overall. Because they're a little bit more stiff, I do feel like you have to kind of press down with a little bit more pressure with your brush, so you have to work a little bit harder to blend these out, and then as a result, if you are wearing a very like finicky coverage product underneath them, that can be moved around by that extra pressure. They actually last pretty well in the cheeks throughout the day. I normally notice my blush being the first thing to go, especially if it's a cream blush, but these are very long wearing. That's probably one of the benefits to them being a cream cheek and lip product in one, is that they last pretty long because they are supposed to be lip products. And then also I know some people were concerned about them being something that might potentially break you out just because they're a lip product that you're putting on your cheeks, but I did not notice anything, and I do have very acne prone cheeks. So overall, 8 out of 10 for me. I think that Tower 28 is superior in terms of formula, but I do like having kind of two things in one, and this is going to be like a favorite for travel. I'm not going to go super in depth because I have a full review video of the entire collection, but the ColourPop tie-dye collection obviously came out very recently. So when I mentioned something I did a full review video on in a new makeup releases, favorites, and fails, I kind of just like to touch back in on the products that I concluded were good in that video and then follow up and say if I've still been using them, if I have any new thoughts about them. So what I kind of designated as the worth it products in the video were the Innitrans palette, the Super Shocks, and then the eyeliners. Overall, the Innitrans palette, I still have been really enjoying this one. I didn't do a ton of Pride looks this season. I had a lot of fun looks planned, but when I sat down to do them, I was like, there's a lot of shit going on in the world. I just don't know, I just didn't want to paint rainbows. However, this palette I think pulled all its weight this season. I stand by my review in that it's not going to be good for beginners. I think that this formula is pretty difficult to work with to get actually nice results. You do have to use them with a pretty nice tacky base, so I think the Kaleidos primer is a really great option for this. But even though it's not a beginner friendly palette, I do think it's really beautiful, and it's something that I didn't have anything like in my collection, so I am very excited about it. Regarding the highlighters, I have noticed myself actually using the shade Manifest that a little bit more often. I believe in the video I said that I liked the shade Your Trip a little bit more, but this gold has been really hitting differently in natural lighting. This is now my favorite of the two, but still I like both of them. And then I gave the gel liners my stamp of approval. Honestly, I haven't used these in the past 2 weeks or so just because I've been focusing on testing out the Kaleidos stuff and just doing other things. I'm not really a liner person. I don't use liners on a daily basis, so I really have to like remember, oh, I want to use the ColourPop pastel liners today. But I do think these are a really, really good formula, so I'm very impressed with how far ColourPop has come with these gel liners. They used to be so crusty. Overall, if you want my full thoughts on the collection, go ahead and watch that video. I'm really proud of how that one came out, but those are my thoughts on these products right now. I got one major new release from Fourth Ray Beauty. They came out with the avocado and aloe double shot serum. I wasn't going to review, but I started testing it out and I was like, I need to talk about this product because this shit broke me out so bad. I really love the kind of trend of dual phase serums that we're going through right now. Basically, it's serums that have an oil and a water-based component, so both of them kind of work on penetrating different levels of your skin and targeting different things in one serum. This one, I really, really like the claims. Basically, it's meant to be nourishing and repairing on your skin.
No, I am gonna leave.
This broke me out like literally within 2 days of the first time I used it, which was alarming. And while I do think that the formulation could be at play, I think it's the fact that I was just doing the same thing for my skincare routine, consistently doing the same products, and it was working for me really well. I think something I need to do this year is to step away from reviewing skincare on my channel. That's not to say I won't talk about skincare products anymore, but I think I need to stop like making it a thing where I'm like actively like testing out and reviewing new products constantly to a point where I'm switching up my routine consistently and not letting my skin settle into something. So I will still sometimes talk about new products and test out new skincare products, but for the most part, I don't want it to be a thing where I'm actively seeking out new skincare products to test out unless I actually really want to test out a new product. Last but not least, I also did a full review video on this collection, but the Odin's Eye Alva collection. The Alva palette has been kind of my new work palette. I feel like you have a lot of kind of mauve toned subtle neutrals in here with some really beautiful shimmers as well. So this has been something I've been reaching for frequently. Pretty much only powder blushes I've been using besides the Kaleidos ones this month have been the Alva fruit blushes, particularly the shade Sweet Peach. This is such a hard type of color to find. It's like a mauve toned, almost cool toned pink, but it's still like it's neutral enough where it doesn't look weird with warmer toned looks. I'm like obsessed with this shade, so I would say this is like my favorite thing from the entire blush line. And then I've also been addictively using the Alva Cream Lip Stain in the shade Little Jasmine. This is my new favorite nude shade, so look at that. Beautiful, very, very comfortable on the lips. Really just feels like you're wearing lip balm with a tiny kiss of color in there. So really, really enjoy this. I think that's it. I think that's all I have to talk about. I had a lot of different things to cover, but that is it for today's new makeup releases, favorites, and fails. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed down below. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and the Tickety Talk. And if you made it to the very end of this video, you are a trooper. You get the bonus meme. I love you very much. Bye.
I found a bunch of generic brands and look, Snickers? No, Snipers. You want Pringles? Nah, Pringles. Nutella? No, Master. Dr. Pepper? Nah, Dr. Pepper. Tic Tac? No, Tic Tac. Doritos? Nah, Doritos. Legs? Oreos? No, cream bitches. Mountain Dew? No, Mountain Shot. M&M, Kit Kat? Nah, take it. 4 fingers.